Hi, my name is Tolly Kay, and I'm the author of the best-selling Survival Guide series. This is the 10th in the Survival Guide video series, and today I'm going to be doing part 2 of the new iPad introduction, and I'm going to be covering the 4 new features introduced on the iPad 3, namely the 4G, the Retina display, the new camera, and also a feature called Dictation, which allows you to type text using your voice. And I'm also going to be doing a side-by-side comparison with the iPad 2 here, and I'm going to be showing you 2 pictures, one which was taken with the camera on the iPad 3 and one which was taken on the iPad 2. They're identical pictures, but the one on the iPad 3 obviously looks better, so I'm just going to show that off as well. Alright, let's begin. The first feature I'd like to discuss is the new Retina display on the iPad 3. Now, the Retina display has 2048 by 1536 resolution right here, as opposed to the 1024 by 768 on the iPad 2. And to see the difference is a little bit difficult on the camera, but I've chosen very appropriately the iPad 2 guide in iBooks to show off the difference in the text. Now, if you look very closely, I'm going to lean it forward a little bit here, and especially if you look at the separate letters, you can definitely see a difference, and that even in a video like this, you can read the text much more easily on the iPad 3 here. So that is the new Retina display on the iPad 3, and it's actually very good for graphics as well. There are some games that I will discuss in the next video, in part 3, such as, for instance, the Infinity Blade 2 game, and the Solar Walk is another excellent application that I already mentioned in part 1 of this video, and I'll have a whole roundup of the 10 best apps in part 3 that really use the Retina display well. Okay, and let's move right on to the next feature. Apple also added a new camera to the iPad 3. Whereas the iPad 2 had a 0.7 megapixel camera, the new iPad has a 5 megapixel camera. It takes much better photos. Now, to demonstrate that, I actually took the same photo within about 15 seconds of each other, and on the iPad 2 and the iPad 3. And I'm going to show them side by side, and you can see just how much better the iPad 3 photo is. So we have our mascot, Vixen, the cat here. And you see kind of, it's grainy, especially when you zoom in, you can definitely see that. Now, on the iPad 3, same photo, much sharper. And you can zoom in really far, and you can still see a very sharp image. So there's a definite difference there. And that is the new camera on the iPad 3. The third feature and final side-by-side comparison that I'd like to show you is the 4G on the new iPad. What I've done is I turned off Wi-Fi on the iPad 2 and the iPad 3, and I turned on 3G here on the iPad 2 and 4G on the new iPad. And what I'd like to do is do a speed test. So I'm going to open up Safari on both of them, and then I'm going to try to open a website, the same website, at exactly the same time. So we're going to go to msnbc.com and do the same thing here. And now I'm going to touch the go button at exactly the same time, and we're going to see how quickly each one of them loads. Alright, and we're ready, and go. Now, the strange thing here is that 3G actually loaded this website faster than 4G on the iPad 3. However, try to go to let's say msn.com, we're going to find a different result. So go to msn.com, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to touch go at exactly the same time. Now they loaded about at the same speed. I've actually tested this earlier, and it loaded msn.com a little bit faster. The mobile speed test on the iPad 3 also came up about 100 kilobits per second faster. It was 970 as compared to 880 on this one. So it's slightly faster, but not extremely fast. And that is the 4G on the iPad 3. The fourth and final feature on the new iPad is Dictation, which allows you to input text using your voice. And I'm going to demonstrate that in the Notes application. Now, when the keyboard comes up, you're going to want to touch this microphone key. It's directly to the left of the spacebar. And when you touch it, it will allow you to speak whatever you want to enter in here. And it's actually very accurate. I've tested it yesterday extensively. It can record a lot of text. So let's demonstrate this now. Hi John, comma, new line. I'm recording the new iPad Survival Guide video series, period. Check it out at, new line, www.youtube.com/survivalguidebooks, new line. Hope to see you there, period. I'm also working on the new iPad Survival Guide, period. New line. All the best, comma, new line, Tolly. So as you can see, it actually recognized almost all of it. It says, hi Tolly, I'm recording the new iPad Survival Guide video series, period. Check it out at, It had a little bit of trouble with this, obviously, as it put spaces between survival guide and books. And then hope to see you there, period. Also working on the new iPad Survival Guide. Actually almost 100%. And that is the dictation feature on the iPad 3. And those are all of the new features on the iPad 3. Look for part 3 of the intro to the new iPad coming soon, where I will show you the top 10 must-have apps for the new iPad, which are especially customized to take advantage of the Retina display. Also, the survival guide for the new iPad will be released on or before March 26th, so look for that on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and iBooks. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments, and I will get back to you promptly. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.